Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, V'chakodash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, shalom and salutation to Oisese Akim, across the four winds, pushing us truth with sincerity of heart. I'm your fellow servant, Kasama God from the DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, V'chakodash, for the elect. Now, this is going to be a quick lesson, all right, and basically it's just rebuking this shameful conversation by this shameful so-called Negro called Stephen A. Smith, all right. Now, Stephen A. Smith, as you know, he is a sports reporter. Mostly commonly known as the top sports reporter at CNN. He's been out there making his money for some decades now. So I guess he had an appearance at The View. All right. Of course, The View's been acting funny as everything is about the election results and so on and so forth. And he made some statements. I was watching this part of the interview, and he made some statements in the latter part. And I just want to y'all to listen to this. And then we're going to bring the scriptures. And this is indicative of the mindset, all right? Primarily, beginning with the so-called Negro, right, of the tribe of Judah, so-called African-American, all right? So-called West Indian as well, West Indians, so-called Haitians, all right? Levites. And then also, right, that same mentality trickles down to the northern tribes, so-called Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, even the native tribes. But right here, you really want to focus on the southern tribes, beginning with Judah, because this is a mindset. And check this out, man. Check this buffoonery, all right? This coon shit that he's going to talk about, and that we're going to get the precepts.
Your spirit, and that's unfortunately what most voters are doing.
Let me ask you this: How you want to speak?
No.
Oh yeah. By the way, fair use, because I'm pretty sure. You have channels like The View and copyright, that's kind of what they do. So fair use, this is for educational purposes only. All right, fair use.
Sorry. Sure. Because Howard Stern says that he wasn't confident that the country was ready to elect the first female president because he knows, quote, how men talk behind closed doors about us. So we're very privileged to have a great guy here today.
Yeah.
Tell her, what do men say about us behind closed doors?
Well, first of all,
Say it to our faces. Yeah. Do tell.
I don't hide, so no worries there. Here's the deal. I respectfully disagree with Howard Stern, only from the standpoint that I wish he had been more specific. Why don't you say white men? Because let me tell you something about black men. We love our mamas.
I know that.
And we revere black women. And
that's the statement. And by the way, I gotta stop it in between, because if I don't, then I'm gonna get a copyright. I know it's only gonna be 3 minutes, but I have to kind of stop it in between since it's for educational purposes. Now, he made a statement that we love our mamas. That whole country talk about mama this and mama that. Now, of course, as Israelite men, we do love our mothers, but we love our fathers, all right? We love our fathers and our mothers, all right? Now, but the statement, the issue, he said we revere our mothers, and he's going to go into a deeper psychological mindset that has destroyed the so-called black community, all right? And he's gonna go in, he's going to double down, and basically, I forgot that lady's name. She's like, the America's not ready for a female leader, and so on and so forth. So he's like, well, the power structure is the white man. Talk about white men. Don't talk about us, because we basically, we basically worship our women. You know what I'm saying? So check this out.
we're trifling. We know it's us. It's not them.
Right, yeah.
You understand? So when he's saying that, okay, well then.
By the way, he said we trifling. He's talking about Israelite men.
And when we're trifling, we know it's us. It's not them.
Right, yeah.
You understand? So when he's saying that, okay, well then let's talk about white men. We have a white power structure that still exists in this country today. I understand the white populace in this country was over 85% at one time. It's now dipped to about 57.4%.
Yep.
The white power structure is still in place. So when we talk about misogyny, when we talk about chauvinism, when we talk about women not necessarily being empowered, well, who's in a position of power to surrender some of that power? It's white men. So I think that when Howard Stern Stern was talking, I can't speak to what white men are thinking. I can tell you this much. Black men, we revere women.
Yeah.
We don't have any problem looking at a woman as a leader.
And that is the reason why the so-called black community is in fucking shambles. Because the so-called black man has been brainwashed throughout slavery to revere and to worship his woman. All right. Now, you notice that the Edomite men and his woman, right, the devil that the Bible speaks of and his she-devil woman, they all, they will fight for so-called false equality and feminism. But at the end of the day, the so-called white man knows not to allow his women to assert his authority. And of course, the Edomite woman would come out and bring some shit like that. They got a problem with that. And the Edomite woman, as much as she has a problem with that, she ultimately doesn't mind being ruled by Edomite men because she knows that keeps them at the top. Because the thing with the woman is, yeah, if you let the woman usurp your authority, she's going to take it. But then you're going to collapse, right? Then you're going to collapse and then she's going to leave, all right? Because that's just how they are, right? So, but then, and look at what Stephen A. Look at what he says. He said, "Oh well, he wasn't talking about us because us black men, we and we revere our women. We don't have a problem with our women being leaders, of course." And you see the results. Look at the Edomite man. He's ruling his nation, and look at what he has done. Look at what he has accomplished in his wickedness in his kingdom. And you so-called Negroes, you let your woman rule over you. And look at what's happened to our so-called community. It's garbage. It's absolute total garbage. Our women are whores. They're shameless whores at that. All right. So look at this garbage. So I just wanted to play that out. And, without further ado, let's just get to the scriptures, man. It's not going to be one of those long lessons. We're just going to get to the point. Now, this is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12 in the KJV. And it says, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path." Now, let's go to the NLT to get a different understanding. Well, it's the same understanding, but with so let's get to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. Now, check this out. It says, childish leaders oppress my people. All right. And women rule over them. All right. So you have childish leaders that oppress our people. First of all, Edom, Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of, he is a child, really. And he's really a child of ours. If you're really talking about the fact that Esau, the twin brother of Jacob, we were sons of who? Abraham, Isaac. You know what I'm saying? Jacob, he was the son of Jacob. No, he was the son of Isaac. He was the son of Isaac. All right. So now when we go into, let me read the scripture again. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 11. Just got to make sure I read it again. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. It says, childish leaders oppress my people, and women rule over them. O my people, your leaders mislead you. They send you down the wrong road. All right. So Stephen A. is kind of looked at as a leader. I mean, that's why, he was brought up into this interview. He's kind of, again, we don't look at him. When I say we, us Hebrew Israelites, we don't look at him as a leader. But the so-called black community kind of, some of them look at him as a leader, right? Because he's been successful financially, but he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just another brainwashed Negro, man. That's all it is. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. This is the KJV. It says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." All right. Now, when you read the NLT, it says, "I do not let women teach men or have authority over them. Let them listen quietly." All right. And this is something that the Edomite men at the power positions understand. Now, the average Edomite male is a beta male conditioned slave. All right. of his own people, of his own kinfolk. The average Edomite is a beta male conditioned slave of his own kinfolk. But the Edomites at the power level, I mean, at the very top, beginning with the Rothschilds and Rockefellers on down to even politicians that are at very high levels, these guys understand that, a woman has no place in authority. But they have to set up this, they decided to set up this mindset primarily to destroy you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans by brainwashing you into giving power to your women, which would devastate your communities, devastate your nation. All right. Let's conclude with 1 Timothy chapter 5, and I'm going to start at 11. This is what the scripture says. All right. It says the younger widows should not be on the list. I mean, as far as like doing a lot of work when it comes to the church, it says the younger widows should not be on the list because their physical desires will overpower their devotion to Hamashiach, and they will want to remarry. All right. So it's talking about the physical desires. Women have desires, as we know, right? But they have to be controlled. All right. They have to be controlled. That's the reason why men have power over their daughters, and then they transfer the power. The power over the woman was transferred from the father to the husband. All right. Because the thing is, when women are in their desires, which usually starts at the age of 12 or 13, when they are at the age of their flowers, they are going to seek. All right. They're going to seek intercourse. All right. They're going to seek intercourse, and they're not going to wait for marriage. And of course, in this society, you see it now. The majority of women, on average, I've spoken to a lot of women. I've been with a lot of women, and the majority of them lost their virginity at the age, I probably say between the age of 12 to 14. All right. So this is the reality of it. And the scripture spoke about this. And all of those women that I spoke of, guess what? You know what the common denominator was? They either didn't have a father, meaning that power presence, or they had a weak father. So it's not enough to just have a father. You have to have a strong father. All right. All right. So verse 12, it says, then they would be guilty of breaking their previous pledge. And if they are on the list, they will learn to be lazy and will spend their time gossiping from house to house, meddling in other people's business, and talking about things they shouldn't. That's the reason why you got to put a woman to work. This whole idea of a woman is not supposed to, a stay at home. Nah, I mean, a woman is supposed to work. Women have always worked. All right, women have always labored. I mean, if you had your own land, you would put your woman to work and put your children to work. Because the idle mind, in particular, a woman's idle mind is devastating, to your kingdom, to your household, to your family. That's something that the ancient men understood that. But Edom, Esau, the devil that the Bible speaks of, he also understood that, but he knew that would be a great way to destroy the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to destroy the nation of Israel by having women usurp authority. Thus, you have individuals, financially successful individuals like Stephen A. Smith, but piss poor morally, spiritually, and mentally, come out there and talk about, well, the white man, it's misogynist, but don't look at us, because us black men, we worship our women, so to speak. But then you compare and contrast the two nations, and the nation of Israel is in a dumpster. All right. All that women worshiping that we've done, look where we at. We're at the very bottom. We're laughing stock. Our women are shaking their asses on top of the rooftops. You know what I'm saying? They shaking their asses when they driving their cars in the middle of the road. Come on, man. Stop it. Verse 14, it says, so I advise these younger widows to marry again, have children, and take care of their own homes. Then the enemy will not be able to say anything against them. All right? For I am afraid that some of them have already gone astray and now follow Satan. Right. And that's basically what's happened to the so-called black women. And for Stephen A. Smith talking about, Howard Stern saying the United States is not ready for a woman because the United States, the males are misogynist. And he's saying, well, don't look at us black men. Look at the white man. He's the one. Don't look at us black men, so-called black men. We worship our women, so to speak. All right, we revere. That's what he said. He said we are trifling. It's not them. It's us. Meaning the so-called black woman could do no wrong. The Israelite woman could do no wrong. We, right, the so-called the men of Israel, we're the ones that are trifling. You see that? So yeah, man, this is what we fighting against, man. But it's all right though, because although people think that, well, you haven't seen any chaos yet, this is the quiet before the storm, man. Something massive is in the works. A lot of the elites, there's a quiet before the storm. There's something in the works that should be popping off, within the next weeks or so. And it's gonna really it's gonna be a devastating situation or occurrence, like the scripture calls it sudden destruction. Something bigger than 9/11 is in the works. That's all I can say. And it's just kind of like wait and see. And all of this shit just gonna go to sleep. This feminism, women worship, all this shit just gonna go right to sleep. All right. So basically that's all I had, man. I was just peeping it. I was like, you know what? The spirit is on me. Just make a quick video about it. Hopefully you were edified as I was. You know what I'm saying? Call out Yahweh Shema, shout double honor to our apostles and elders and of great millstone. Shalom, salutation to you, says that Akim across the four winds. Shalom.